Hey everybody, just doing a quick little comparison. Nothing too severe. Sorry, I'm comparing my two Fallkniven F1s. There we go, just got a few scraps of hardwood there. I've got my, I guess you call it my EDC F1. I deliver rurally, mail, and out in what many would call the boonies, I guess, up in the mountains. And this is what I usually keep in my cargo pocket as sort of an EDC rig. It's set up for a neck. I find it's light enough. For me personally, I don't mind it. Ranger banded. Actually, it's a Moranev fire steel, pretty decent. And I threw this on a long time ago just to add some tension on this little button that helps hold the knife in. So yeah, that's my EDC setup for my custom production F1. Which will do that. Set that down. And then this is my custom F1 that I've repurposed a BHK sheath for it. Wet formed that. Keep meaning to get to my wet form video with my bushcrafter. I keep slipping my mind. I apologize. For anyone who might be waiting for that, it's I'm going to get that done in the next week for sure. If I can get the damn memory to log that in there. And then this is my custom piece that you saw in my winter cut test. This is black box elder. Really gorgeous. Really like this. But the purpose of this video is not a review of the knife. I've already done that. It's just a really kind of quick handle comparison between the two. Let me just move that over there. So we'll grab a little piece of hardwood here. And I mean, I don't have, this is maple, as always. I don't really have an issue with this handle. It's very grippy. I would probably not want to have to use it all day, but I could. It's not that bad. The texture, I think, is annoying more than anything else about the handle, as far as having any kind of faults. You know, convex blade on the F1 is just really phenomenal. Softwood, non-issue. Well, this is a good knife to choke up on. You want to do some fine cut work for whatever reason. You're looking to do some fine shavings. Some scrapings. Cedar's good for scrapings. More the bark than the wood, but the wood suffices as well for scrapings. You know, it's comfortable. The one thing I hate about this handle is how far up they put the lanyard hole, and I do not understand the choice there. I really don't. Not sure what they were thinking. Not sure if it was a mistake and they ran with it. It's in the worst place. I mean, check that out. Pinky always covers it. Choke up as high as you want on the blade, and the back of your hand covers it. So definite design flaw there in my opinion. But good handle. The difference between this and the custom one, it's thinner. It's much thinner, and of course, beside the handle material, what's it, thermorun, I think it's called, or thermorun. But it's not bad. Like I said, the textured bit adds to grippiness, but in the long term, makes it uncomfortable on the hand. The whole hand becomes a hot spot, in my opinion. But it's not, you know, I don't want to say it's uncomfortable. It gets to be because of the texture. The handle shape itself isn't bad. It isn't bad. But the texture can be definitely an issue. This one is a dream. The blank got sent to Able Eyes at Diving Sparrow. You know, he did his thing. Nice and thick, white liner. You know, rounded off. Just real joy. One of the things I enjoy about this knife is the ability to choke up onto the handle and get my thumb in there like this, you know. Just for extra control of the blade. It's a really nice feature, that extra wide bit there. Definitely more comfortable. The wood, black box elder, aesthetically pleasing for me. Really love it. It's a nice wood. Of course the blade's the same. Never noticed any difference in the blade. I mean, it powers through. Absolutely powers through. Good convex on these knives. And this is a handle that I can work pretty much all day with and have. You know, it's not uncomfortable. It's the only time it gets uncomfortable is in the sense that any knife will, is if you work with it for an extended period without stopping and giving your hand a break. And you know, a lot of people, and I definitely do it, you know, even half the time, is we have a tendency to over grip the knife, I find. And I try to remind myself of that when I notice that I'm doing it. You know, just enough of a grip to control the knife is all that's needed. If you're doing more deep and hard cuts, especially in the chest lever, you'll want a stronger grip. You don't want that knife slipping out. There's no doubt about that. But for me, a lot of control is a lighter touch on the knife. You know, I've noticed it myself. I've noticed it in others. I've heard other people even comment on it. You know, you get that over tendency to really grip it. And then that's, of course, where your hot spots are going to come in, is because you're over gripping the knife. You're cutting through. Now that was an over grip. I can do the same thing, gripping the knife more loosely, not to the point of losing control of the blade and it becoming unsafe, but just enough to keep control of it. And that's a lot less than I was doing before with that over grip. And that, for me, reduces the wear on the hand and the hot spot potential by, you know, 3/4, 75% easily. Something to keep in mind for people if they find they're getting hot spots on a knife. Check to see what you're doing with your grip. You know, check. I know a cousin of mine had a tendency to always do that. He never realized he was doing it. He was always, you know, basically full squeezes almost as hard as you can. And I said, your knuckles are, your fingers are turning white. Like, what are you doing? You know, you're not trying to squeeze the life out of it. And you don't need a full squeeze to control a knife. And he's been, you know, keeping an eye on that since, and he said the same thing. He's like, I get fewer hot spots on my hands, they're not as sore. So not always the handle, when it comes to hot spots on your hand or sore spots, whatever you want to call it. It can just be a matter of over grip, too tight a grip. So yeah, that's my little demo and talk. That was a request that I compare these two knives and talk about the handles and the differences. So definitely on the custom, much better. Thicker handle for me is almost always, I haven't got a too thick handle really yet, as far as circumference going around it. I've had handles be too wide that way, and that's the issue with the SE5. But you know, definitely a problem with this pattern over time. Other than that, the handle's not too bad, and of course I'm going to prefer the thicker sculpted handle that I have on my custom. Hope that answered it for you, buddy, and hope you enjoyed this little handle chat. So everyone take care, and have a great day and be well.